This is a short PowerPoint on India's new labor codes. As a disclaimer, this is not a comprehensive analysis of the labor codes and their contents. It's a summary and analysis of their pros and cons. As of 21st November 2025, the Indian government has consolidated 29 labor laws into 4 comprehensive labor codes. This move aims to create a simple, efficient framework that promotes the ease of doing business while safeguarding workers' rights and welfare. These reforms are an attempt to address long-standing issues in India's evolving industry and economy. They follow the concept of single registration, single license, and single return. The key word here is simplicity. These labor codes aim to simplify compliance, simplify enforcement, and simplify outdated laws. The goal is to align India's regulatory framework with the economy and technologies of today. The 4 labor codes are the Code on Wages 2019, the Industrial Relations Code 2020, the Code on Social Security 2020, the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code 2020. The Ministry of Labour and Employment rationalized, simplified and amalgamated the relevant provisions of existing labour laws into 4 labour codes. They were enacted after deliberations with the government, employers, industry representatives and trade unions. Let's look at the 4 labour codes. The first is the Code of Wages 2019. It aims to strengthen workers' rights while promoting standardizing wage-related compliance for workers. The most significant change here is the recognition of both organized and unorganized sectors. This is massive, as the existing regulations only cover 30% of workers. With this, India's workers can benefit from the numerous changes afforded by these codes of wages, which include the points you see here. The second is the Industrial Relations Code 2020. It balances the ease of business with trade union relations. It attempts to clearly define industry sizes, formalize worker-industry relations, minimize disruptions, facilitate dispute resolutions, support contract workers, and prepare employees for a post-AI economy. The third is the Code on Social Security. It aims to extend Social Security to all categories of workers while introducing changes for easier compliance and efficiency. It expands the definition of workers, provides a uniform definition of wages, greater gratuity benefits for employees, and introduces simplified compliance changes. The fourth is the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code 2020. It balances the objectives of creating a business-friendly regulatory environment while safeguarding workers' rights and safe working conditions. Businesses benefit from a single license, single registration, while workers enjoy greater rights in matters of employment, wages, and working conditions. While the 4 labor codes represent a major move to align India's labor market with the 21st century economy, we must examine their impact on compliance for employers and social security for employees. These codes carry tremendous potential to formalize the workforce and widen the social security net while easing conditions for businesses. In the cons, we have MSME burdens, where floor wages may affect MSMEs that operate on small margins, the erosion of job security because of potentially shorter contracts by employers to bypass social security benefits, higher layoff thresholds, mandatory notice requirements for strikes. They make it harder for workers to enforce their collective bargaining power, and delegated legislation where there is little incentive for individual states to standardize enforcement and definition of the items in the codes. And gender concerns for private companies may reduce hiring of women to bypass the financial and legal costs of compliance. In the pros, we have universal coverage and floor wages that provide a floor wage to both workers in organized and unorganized sectors to ensure minimum income. It is gender inclusive and explicitly includes transgenders while promoting gender shifts in employment. It removes gender restrictions from certain jobs and night shifts. It reaffirms maternity benefits and expands social security benefits to extended family. The digital governance angle via the eShram portal to document unorganized workers, promotion of digital records for reducing costs and increasing efficiency, the direct benefit transfer to eliminate leakages, all these showcase how technology is leveraged to serve as a backbone for the reforms. Improve employment conditions via social security funds, formal employment, fixed-term contracts, social security benefits, and provisions for dispute resolution ensure better employment conditions. Ease of operations also is another benefit via simplified frameworks, higher thresholds for layoffs, and a well-defined negotiating union for settling disputes. They allow businesses to function more smoothly. In conclusion, the labor codes represent the first steps to guide India's labor market into a 21st century global economy. It's a fine balancing act between providing ease of business for employers and social security net for workers. The success of these reforms hinge on collective efforts between the center, states, employers, and workers. With the right approach, India will be well placed to achieve Atmanirbhar Bharat and transform into a global manufacturing hub while ensuring that no worker is left behind. Thank you for listening to my presentation.